What's up, guys and ghouls, and welcome to another episode of Fright Mic. I'm Liz.
I'm Sam.
And today we are talking babysitters.
Again.
Another
babysitter, another day.
But this one is a little misleading on purpose, which we don't find out until the movie starts.
True.
Because it's not babysitting, it's just sitting.
It's demon sitting.
We're talking about The House of the Devil from 2009 by none other than Ty West.
House of the Devil.
One of his early works.
Yup.
And might I say, a damn fine movie.
I agree with you. And I have to tell you, so I know this is not a first time watch for either of us. So while I was watching this movie, I was doing a little research on like the background of this film. And while they were filming this was shot in Connecticut, and they stayed at a little hotel in the area called the Yankee Peddler Inn. Does that name ring a bell?
No.
It should, because that was where the innkeepers took place.
Oh, I was gonna say.
He got his inspiration.
I was gonna say
for
that
the
does
innkeepers.
sound like the okay, because the innkeepers was after.
Yes.
Love.
I know. So this is kind of like Stephen King staying at the Stanley and then getting inspiration for The Shining. Yeah. So that's how, and they shot the innkeepers at the Yankee Peddler Inn.
Okay.
I know.
He had a cinematic universe before.
I know.
X Pearl and Maxine.
Let me tell you, the way my jaw dropped when I read that, I was like, "Well,
that's
get
so
the fuck
fun."
out. I know, and I didn't know that the Yankee Peddler was like a real hotel. I just thought it was like for the film.
The one that they shot Innkeepers in?
Yeah, they shot it at the Yankee Peddler Inn.
Cute. I love that.
I know.
Was a creepy ass hotel.
Sure was.
It definitely looked haunted. So
yes.
yeah,
I was so excited to read that. But yeah, this is a great. I like Ty West.
love Ty West. He's great. He's got range.
I like this movie too because I feel like he really he has done his homework when it comes, because this is a movie set in the 80s. It has that like late 70s early 80s vibe.
The 16 millimeters.
And yeah, that's true. He shot it on 16 millimeter.
But it believably looks like
yes,
an early 80s movie.
Like the quality of like the film,
the vibes are vibing.
the way that he like zooms in, like I think that like the way that he like zooms in on the characters, the freeze frame opening credits with that like neon yellow, or like I don't even, it's like marigold yellow, whatever it is. It, like The Conjuring, I think was kind of like the same way, that like title card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels very like, the first time I saw this I had to do like a double take, like this is from 2009, right?
I know. I think we need more movies to be shot in 16 millimeters just to get this feel, especially a horror movie, because it's genuinely creepy.
I agree. This movie is unsettling.
And it's cool that we can do, like, we can use the technology of now to, like, recreate that and use, like, effects, like, scary effects from now to give you that effect as if it was in the 80s.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Ugh.
And I think it's funny how I have notoriously said that I don't like films from that era because it's a pacing issue for me. And this movie is paced very much like those films. And yet for this, it does not bother me.
I know. I don't know what it is about this. It is, like, slower, but for some reason, I don't mind either.
No.
I've never minded. Because I think the end payoff is so good.
And it does a good job at building the tension and the dread, because you do see people, like, you see that things aren't good, like her friend and the guy that does it is like the pizza guy. So it's like you can see things, and we see like behind the door where she does it. So like we know something is more sinister, and so it just like, as the movie goes on, it kind of like ratchets up like slowly.
But it's giving you like puzzle
release.
pieces throughout too, like the pictures, the coat thing. Like, it's like we're in a Nancy Drew book, you know?
100%.
Like, we're unraveling a mystery, and then by the time you figure out what the hell is going on, it's oh my god.
And I feel like the main character, whose name is Samantha, I think she is not stupid either.
No, like from the beginning, she's not, and neither is her friend.
Right.
Who,
Her friend's a little smarter.
Yeah.
Tells her not to take the job, but still.
Yeah, but she's kind of just like desperate. She's hard up for cash because she wants to get away from her slob of a roommate because she's living in a college dorm. So she's trying to get like $300 to rent an apartment from D. Wallace.
Yeah, from D. Wallace randomly as the landlord.
Yeah, in one scene. So she's just like, I want to take this gig, and like there's a flyer posted around her campus for a babysitter. So she's like, okay, quick cash, but go to find out that this place is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so her friend, who's played by Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, in famous director, Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, famous. But she's like, yeah, I would not take that because the guy originally was supposed to meet her to like kind of almost like interview her for the job, but then stands her up and is like kind of shady about the whole thing. And so she's like, man, screw him, whatever, don't go. It's weird.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm really hard up for cash. She's desperate.
I do think actually that, so Samantha's friend Meg, played by Greta Gerwig, I think Megan saved a lot of female lives though. Well, maybe, I guess because Samantha killed the bad people. But anyway, she takes down all the flyers.
Yeah.
So I feel like
she's the hero of the movie.
Yeah, like if Samantha didn't like, everybody, she probably would have saved a lot of lives.
Yeah.
Because these people were up to no good. And I don't know if it's just because there's a whole thing about this movie and there's a lunar eclipse. And everyone won't shut up about it. Megan's like, if I have to hear one more thing about this GD eclipse, I'm going to lose my mind. When they show up, because Megan's a good friend and drops Sam off at the Ullman's place. That's who she's babysitting for, supposedly, allegedly. She goes in with her just to make sure that these people aren't,
and she
like,
offers
freaks.
to stay.
Yeah. And they turn on, I think he mentions the eclipse, and she's like, oh my Christ.
Yeah, because
you too?
This dude, when he answers the door, it's almost like Lurch.
Can we talk about,
he's so tall.
He's so tall. And he's
foreboding.
He's in a black suit, not an all black, but he's in a black suit, almost like he's going to a funeral.
Yeah.
And he's got like a cane. I need to talk about this man, Mr. Ullman, because when she first calls and she speaks with him on the phone, the voice
does not match.
Not at all.
Teenage boy.
Yeah, I said, oh, who is this?
Yeah.
And then I saw who it is, and I said, oh, no, catfished by the voice. You can't trust a voice ever.
Oh, worst Hinge date ever.
Yes. Oh, my God. Yeah, the face and the voice do not match at all.
No. But then maybe it was Vince who called.
No.
You don't think?
No. No, certainly not.
Yeah.
You mean Victor? The pizza guy?
Victor, not
the pizza man?
Yeah, whatever his name is, Victor.
Because you know who Victor is, right? He's that piece of shit from You're Next.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He is.
A lot of stuff. Like, I looked him up, and because I was like, he looks familiar.
Yeah.
He's that piece of shit from You're Next. I said, oh.
I recognize that face.
I got your I know you, bitch. Yeah. Oh, I got you, bitch.
Boo.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got that, like, Mr. Ullman just has, like, it's like a very, like, smooth voice.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, his voice feels like a freshly sharpened ice skate on, like, ice. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's
very specific.
It's so smooth, you know?
It is. Yeah. And
so smooth and light.
And I think what also he's he's like polite and almost kind of quiet.
Right.
You know, like he's like, oh, Samantha, can I take you into the next room and just have a word with you? It'll only be a moment. You won't have to worry about this. You don't have to do this. You can just sit down, and this means the world to me and my wife because we're gonna go look at the lunar eclipse thing, and then we'll be right back. And we left money for pizza. We left all the like he's like super nice.
Yeah,
but also a little strange.
Yeah, because he's like, hey, I know I said you were here for like a babysitting gig, and that's not like a total lie, except that it's not a baby that you're sitting. It's my mom. Well, my mother-in-law. But she like, she's like fine. She just like keeps to herself. So, just like make sure that everything's cool and, order yourself a pizza. There's money for pizza. There's a number for the pizza place. Did I mention ordering pizza? You should order from pizza. But pizza from that number specifically, they're going to deliver out here that pizza. That one specifically. Mm-hmm. You should order some pizza. If I were her, I'd be like, all right, I'll order the pizza. And I'm ordering Chinese.
Yeah.
Pizza, that the way he emphasizes.
I also
like
just
that.
want to point out the amount of pizza that gets wasted in this movie, because
Yeah,
in the
twice.
beginning of the movie, her and Greta Gerwig are eating pizza and they don't finish it.
Because she's like, this pizza sucks.
They don't finish it. They leave the place with like full plates, and then in this movie, the pizza is also wasted.
Yeah, but she's so like, I mean, it's a shame because how do you know until it's too late?
Right.
But the pizza is drugged.
Yeah.
And so she takes like 2 bites. And thank God, I mean, she took like 2 kind of like baby bites and was like, oh, gross. And so she like rinsed her mouth out a little bit and threw the pizza away. Can you imagine if she finished a whole slice? She probably would be dead.
Yeah. I do want to point something out though in the beginning with the guy. So part of the reason why he takes her aside, because obviously it's like Meg and Samantha that go into the house, and he's like, he's like, just so you know, like, I can't afford to pay 2 people to stay. So like, you know, basically like, she's got to go. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, she's just my ride. She's going to go. But he was willing to throw down $400. Sir, I think you can afford 2 people.
Right. You can, in fact, afford 2 people.
Right.
Yeah. No, that is a very good point.
So like,
I
what
think,
gives?
Well, I think that's the other thing too. Why Megan is so pissed, because like right after that scene, it cuts to Megan like storming out of the house, and she's like, "No, dude, we said if it was weird, we would leave. It's fucking weird." And like Megan is like visibly upset.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I really need the money." And she's like, "Fuck that." Like even Megan at the beginning was like, "You know, if you need the money, like you can always borrow from my dad. Like he doesn't care." Like it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Megan wasn't like, do you think it's weird that I'm not allowed to stay, but suddenly he's got $400 when he originally was only offering $100?
Red flag.
Yeah, suddenly he's quadrupled his investment in you.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's weird. Yeah, and like I
like,
just
he's so desperate for her to stay.
Right.
$400
that's it. And
in the 80s.
and if you know what, Megan did all she could. Honestly, Megan did all she could. She did leave, but I just think maybe if I were that friend, I would like quote unquote leave and then
But
I'd
also
loop back
stay.
around. Yeah,
I'd
would
wait
like,
for them to leave and 100% would go back in.
because it's like you're not gonna fucking sit here and be weird. Like I'm sorry, I'm coming back because I'm giving you a ride anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not doing it. But
Right.
poor Megan, like all this being a good friend, and she ends up like pulling over, and she has a stress smoke. But so her lighter's not working, and she goes to use the car one when cars still had lighters.
Lighters.
And this man who we find out is Victor, who's working with the Ullmans. He's like he appears out of nowhere and is like, "Hey man, thought you could use a light." And then he goes, "Are you the babysitter?" She's like, "What the fuck? No." Shoots her in the fucking head.
Dude, the first time I saw this movie, I was like, oh shit.
The fuck?
So violent.
So out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, just blunt.
And then he
Yeah.
picks up her cigarette and smokes it.
Oh. Wow.
I do need to say, she was shot in the head at like basically like close, like point blank.
Oh yeah, explodes.
Yeah, but I just
Face
feel like
blown off.
so we do see her later in the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like more was done to, like she has no skull.
No.
I
No face.
no.
Face not there.
It's not there. It looks like thrown up pizza.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what I mean? And I just was like, "Oh god, what have they done to her?"
Oh yeah.
I just she didn't get shot with a shotgun. Like what did you do to her?
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Oh.
I know. I kept thinking that the tap water was going to get drugged too. Because they
Yeah,
kept focusing
maybe.
on the tap water.
And the weird noises coming from the drain. Honestly, the wife too she gives off like sinister villain energy.
Yeah, I think she reminds me of like a Suspiria witch, like a Suspiria teacher, you know?
Yeah.
That's what she reminds me of.
Yeah.
Ugh. Or like somebody from The Witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's real weird. And her furs.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
the way
God.
that she kind of pops up out of nowhere.
She's like, "Hello."
Hello, Samantha. The boys must go crazy for you.
Right. Like, okay, old lady.
Ugh.
I don't know. Yeah, she
Gives off
creepy.
villain energy, but ugh.
I know.
But even like the second that they leave, Samantha's already calling Megan.
Yeah, immediately.
Like I think it took a little bit longer to get there than she might have anticipated, because I don't think she'd be home by that point. But she's already freaked out.
I also love that she's like they show it's like back in a time when like screening calls was like a big thing, because I think in the 80s there's no caller ID. So a big thing was just like waiting to go to voicemail and then seeing who it was, and then being like, oh no, it's actually me. Okay. Because Mr. Ullman does it to Samantha twice in the movie. And then Megan's got one of those voicemails where it's like, hello. I'm just kidding. It's not me. And so the first time it gets Samantha. And so the second time when she calls back, she's like, hey, it's me. Pick up. Are you still mad at me? Hello?
Yeah.
Pick up the fucking phone. All right. Or don't. Whatever. Call me when you get home. Like, I kind of miss those days where it was it's me. Pick up your phone. All right. Bye.
Like, you mean the ring back too?
Oh my God. What a time.
Oh.
I know.
I wish we still had that, honestly. I don't really call a lot of people, but I think I'd call them more if I had a ringback.
What would your ringback tone be?
Mine?
Yeah, if you could wake up tomorrow and they were like, ringback tones
I know
are
what
in.
mine would be.
What?
Believe it or not.
Where could I be?
Believe it or not, I'm not home. do.
Oh my God. Incredible.
What would yours be?
Oh,
I know.
easy. Telephone by Lady Gaga. Stop calling, I don't wanna think anymore. That's it. Leave me alone. Or Intermission by The Offspring. That's like such a, like, I don't know if anyone knows that, but it's like, it was on one of their albums, and it just was, the song was called Intermission, and it was like, do 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 do, and a man would go, yeah, intermission.
I like it.
Oh my God.
That would be fun.
It would be so cute. And then it just like intermission voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like it. I like it.
I like it.
Bring back the ringback tones.
I know. I'd call a lot more people if I got to hear fun music.
I know. One of my best friends growing up, she had Cobra Starship. I came here to make you dance. I don't care about. Oh my God, I call that hoe 8 times a day.
Don't answer, okay?
Yeah.
I'm
Text
jamming
her, I'm
out.
calling you. Don't pick up. I know.
Oh my God.
Enjoy the podcast, like what you hear, and you want to hear more? Well, you're in luck. We have a Patreon. That's right. If you don't know, we talk about new movies on our Patreon. We do monthly rewinds, so that way you can find out what we are watching between our main episodes. Sometimes we craft spooky cocktails to match our theme of the month, and watch parties galore. So much fun over there. Head over to patreon.com/Fright Mic Podcast to check that out. Again, if you want to hang out with us a little bit more, then support us over on patreon.com/Fright Mic Podcast. And we'll love you forever. Okay, bye.
Oh, and
Simpler times.
We also need to talk about the fact that when she does order the pizza, it's $8 for a medium.
Also,
$8.
the pizza place, he's like, thanks for calling Pizza. How can we help you in this Pizza Planet pizza style pizza? Can I get a small pizza? Oh, psych, we don't have that pizza. We do have a medium pizza. Like, we don't have a small pizza.
We don't have a small pizza.
We have a medium pepperoni pizza. Okay, sure.
Oh my God.
I know. Yeah, $8 for a medium pizza.
What a time.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Goddamn inflation. The last time I ordered pizza was when I had when we had everyone at my house. Mm-hmm. We got, I think it was 2 large pizzas and
$100.
Close. 2 large pizzas and a mozzarella stick, $80.
I believe it.
I said, excuse the fuck out of me.
No coupon?
Oh, I did. Of course I had a coupon. Are you nuts?
That was with a coupon.
That was after 3 coupons. And a mobile order
promo
10%.
And I signed up for the email subscription.
And texting. Yeah, I know. It's rough out here. $8. Get out of here.
For a medium. God damn. And that pizza takes forever to get there. Honestly, by the time it got there, I forgot that she ordered it.
It was way longer than half an hour.
It was way longer than that.
Because in the time that she orders the pizza to the time it gets delivered, she puts her headphones on and she bops around that house. What is that song? Like, do what you say what you mean.
Okay, but I need to talk about that actually, because I don't know if this is a thing. Maybe it is. I have noise blindness fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm home alone, I don't like things to be too loud to where like you know what I mean? Like I want to be able like to have that
my
kind of
headphones
awareness.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah, like I need like an awareness of noises.
Yeah.
Because my fear is that I don't know, like especially if I'm home alone, I don't know, if an intruder breaks in or something, or if I miss something, it's like a thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss it because I got headphones in.
100%.
So if I have headphones in at home, it's like one AirPod.
Yeah. If I have headphones in at home, it's because I'm trying to read and Luke is home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I usually will have them low enough. Like, if he's not in the room with me, usually, I should preface this. If I have my headphones on, this sounds so rude, but it's not. He's sitting next to me because he's watching the TV and I have music playing while I'm reading a book. If he's not in my eyesight or like he's like just filling up water and coming back, I don't have my headphones in, especially if he's in the shower, because then if he falls or something, like I need to hear it. So like I'm right there with you, especially if I'm home alone. There's no need for like headphones or anything.
Right. And I have a toddler, so I can't have them in anyway.
Right, which loops back around to it being absurd that she's supposed to be
alert.
Sitting an elderly. Yeah, she's supposed to be watching an elderly person.
Right, a kid, an elderly person, an occasional husband. Like,
right, she's bopping around.
Yeah, like I think that you would want to have that awareness. But even if like I don't have my daughter around, I'm like I want to be aware so I'm not getting snuck up on.
Right.
If a demon were to come, I would want to hear them before.
Absolutely.
They snatch me away.
Well, and that like talk about that too, like just like headphones and like spatial awareness and all that stuff in general. If I'm going for a run outside, I have my AirPods. But I turn the noise canceling off so I can hear everything around me, and then I will turn the volume down, or I'll turn it to like just high enough that I can hear the music, but low enough that like I can hear people coming from behind me. Yeah. Right. Because that's another thing too, is like I don't want to be like, because I'm hearing the music, I'm hearing my breathing, I'm thinking about something. The last thing I need is to someone to
sneak up on
you,
or I don't know. Whatever.
100%.
Like a car to be honking. I don't know, something that like happened. But yeah, like the fact that she's got these headphones in and she's supposed to be listening for this elderly lady in case something happens. And she's in a strange dark house.
Yup.
I don't know. I think it's crazy work.
Absolutely.
On her end.
And I don't remember what prompts her to like take the headphones off, but essentially like she's hearing like movement in the upstairs.
Well, she breaks the vase.
That's what it is. Because I'm like, how does she end up getting... Something happens. So she breaks the vase.
And she's going to look for something to clean it up. And that's when she finds the
photos.
She finds the furs in the closet, which the lady...
said were in the basement.
The villain wife lady said were in the basement. So she's like, that's weird. I thought these were in the basement. And then she finds the photos of like all these different people, like families, in front of this house.
And then there's like a different family in front of their exact, like that Volvo that they were driving.
Right.
So she's a little suspicious. She hears the movements upstairs. So she goes and she thinks it's the mother-in-law. And that's when we get like that cool shot. So she comes up to a door and she's like, are you okay in there? And she doesn't open the door, but the camera pans into the room and there's a whole ass summoning circle. It's a pentagram on the ground
and a whole ass dead family.
Yes, 3 people dead. One of them is splayed out in the middle of that pentagram. That's so
They're
crazy.
probably the family from the photo.
That's what I think it is. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy too, because she'll every now and again she'll flick on the news and they're talking about the lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
And, it's coming to its like full peak or whatever.
At midnight.
Yeah. And then the pizza guy arrives. She has thoroughly freaked herself out, and because what freaks her out that she like opens the door. And she's like, thanks for the pizza, bye, and like throws the money at her. She's like, get the change.
I think it's just the thuds.
It's all the okay.
It's the
or is it because she goes to like the sink, or maybe that's that's after the pizza because she's hearing the thuds from the sink.
Yeah, but there's thuds up upstairs because she goes to pee and she opens the door because she keeps hearing noises and it's like she's freaking herself out. Yes. So she throws the money at him and closes the door.
And then so we don't see the pizza guy's face at first. He's just like, okay, thank you, and she's like clutching the pizza to her chest, and we see the pizza man kind of like walk from the front door but into the window, and he lights a cigarette, and when it pans up, we see that piece of shit Vincent.
Yeah.
Victor. I'll keep wanting to call him Vincent.
I know. I want to call him Vincent too.
Yes. Victor.
Victor, yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, she is in a lot of trouble because that's the guy that done shot her best friend.
Yup.
This ain't no good. This pizza ain't nothing good.
Nope.
You don't want to eat that.
And it's not, because she starts eating it, and then she's like, what the fuck? Like, she ends up throwing it out because it tastes weird. She's like washing her mouth out, and that's when she hears that hissing sound in the sink. And she's trying to figure out where it's coming from, and she ends up walking around and goes back upstairs, and then she finds all the hair in the top.
That scene is so traumatic for me. I can't even. That scene gives me both the heebies and the jeebies, because those clumps of dark, thick, straight hair, especially like looking like they're coming out of like the drain, it's giving me Ring.
Oh yeah,
like
Samara
PTSD.
vibes.
Yeah, I was like, I hate that.
I don't know why though. I feel like her reaction is insane. Because she's like, ah! And I'm like, oh my god, a dead body. No, it's just hair.
Just really weird clumps of hair.
I mean, like, gross, but also not a body.
Right. I'd probably be more like,
Yeah, like, oh god. I feel like I would think it was like a spider or something.
For sure.
Like, I'd freak out from that, but not just like a, ah.
yeah. Oh my god. Like, oh my god, someone shaved today. Oh my god, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, full on panic. And then I don't know what prompts her to like then
go in the
sneak
attic.
up into the attic where we can see that someone is walking around
Yeah.
below the door, and then the power goes out.
The power goes out, and she goes to reach for the light bulb, but at this point, the drugs have kicked in.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's like swaying.
She's like trying to run away. That's what it is. She pulls the string. The light bulb explodes, but then all of the power goes out.
Yeah.
So then she's hiding, because we see it's like a very creepy shot of like the attic door slowly creaking open. A hand comes out. So she's running from God only knows what. But yeah, the drugs kick in. She passes out. And then, like you do, you wake up tied to a summoning circle. I hate when that happens.
It happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Those
And I'm
pesky
tired of
circles.
it. I know. Stop trying to use me to carry the devil's child.
Not the pentagram altar.
I know. Yeah, and then the Ullmans come in.
The almonds.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Ullman. And then it's
Victor.
and then it's some creature witch lady
that looks like a demon.
Yeah. She looks like what is it, Pazuzu from The Exorcist? That like
Yeah.
thing.
Well, and it's cool how they get the effect of like the drugs wearing, like, still in her system, but kind of like her coming to with the flashes of the demon lady's face, and the flashes of like the light and the candles and the blood. I don't know. It's really cool, and also like kind of disorienting.
Yeah, because it's like the movie. It's like a series of like dum 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 dum, and every time the thump happens, it's just a quick flash of the candle and this over here and the altar.
Right.
And,
so we feel like we're tweaking out with her.
yeah, it's really cool, and yeah, that face. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And she,
not great.
This like witch demon lady, she is drawing a blood circle on her uterus, womb,
A little
belly,
like a little pentagram on her stomach in blood.
of course.
And then she makes her drink the blood from this animal skull. But while all this is going down, Samantha gets loose and she hits or injures Mr. Ullman.
Yeah, she like stabbed him in the leg, I think.
Yeah. So she gets loose, she runs upstairs, and that's when she finds Megan's body, or what's left of it.
Megan's body from, we'll say generously, the neck down.
Oh,
and I like
face gone though.
Yeah, but I like that she was more freaked out about the hair.
Yeah,
and
she's like, Megan.
I'm gonna blame that on the alcohol.
Yeah,
I'm gonna blame it on the drugs.
Yeah, because I feel like I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'd be freaking out harder at that than some hair in the tub.
Also, what does that say about Megan? That with her face busted wide open,
She's like,
Samantha,
Megan, is that you?
girl? Oh goddamn.
Worst hangover ever.
For real. Are you good? Oh my god. Girl, you okay? Drink some water. You'll be all right. I know. Yeah. So she like runs upstairs. She basically she ends up murdering the witch lady.
Yeah. Well, Victor shoots her in the shoulder, but she slits his throat.
Period.
And then, but her stomach is looking fucked at this point. It's all like the black veins and everything.
Yup.
And then, and then Mrs. Ullman is like, "You're too late."
Yeah, the seed is already growing inside of you. And then she takes her wig off, and there's like it's like old lady hair. She's like,
looks like
yeah, it's
like a witch.
Reminds me of the witches.
She tries talking to Satan
through the eclipse.
through the eclipse.
Please, Lord,
the total eclipse.
Dark Lord.
And then Samantha stabs her in the back.
And then she runs through the graveyard that's on or near the property, which is giving me House of a Thousand Corpses vibes with the Run Rabbit scene. Because why is there a cemetery just nearby?
Because.
And even with like the stabbed leg and him needing a cane, he still is strong enough to like hobble after her.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, stop. Where are you going?
But she's still like freaking because she can hear. She has the gun that Victor used on her, but she's hearing voices, and she holds the gun to Mr. Ullman, and he's like, "Oh, you can kill me. I'm just a messenger of Satan, and he's coming to get you.
He's
the work is done."
Yeah. It's not the going; it's the coming.
It's the comings of it all. And so Samantha's like, well, I'm out of options. So she shoots herself in the head.
Brutal.
To get out of this situation. But oh no, it didn't work.
She's not like other girls like Megan, who just succumbs to a bullet wound in the
head. Let's not lose our heads here.
Yes. Yeah, then she's in a hospital, face and head bandaged, and the nurse gives her like an injection, and she's like, such a lucky, brave girl. You're going to be fine. The Bofa. And then puts her hand on her belly.
Now, when did all that go down? Also, the astronomers say that the moon eclipse came faster than they thought it would be.
So that's a joke on Satan.
Boo.
Fucking 2-pump chump.
Boo.
Right? It took all of 7 seconds for him to impregnate her.
Best 7 seconds of your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then in another late 70s, I feel like early 80s fashion, we get the end credits over the still of the final shot of the film.
With pleasant credit music.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, believe it or not, I survived my headshot.
With a demon baby inside of me.
When am I due? Believe it or not, I don't know.
Do. It's like that final like jump freeze frame.
Absolutely.
Love it.
So incredible.
Isn't it? You know what's weird too, and this is so random. When I was looking at like fun facts on this movie, that Lena Dunham was the voice of the 911 operator.
She's like an old lady.
Jump scare, Lena Dunham.
Yeah, exactly. You want a jump scare? You watch Girls, any episode, at any point, and you see her naked body. Scary.
Which is a lot, which is every episode.
It's every episode, multiple times an episode, and for what?
Girl does not like clothes.
No. Yeah, she sounds old.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to figure out.
Ma'am.
I'm like, when did she call 911? But wasn't it just like
she calls Megan like again.
Yeah.
And then when she doesn't answer,
it's that post pizza getting one, right? When they're like, oh, did you have an emergency? Was it that one?
Yeah, because she calls 911 and then hangs up immediately. And so when they call back.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, when did she call 911?
And I think, isn't she friends with Greta Gerwig?
I think
or
so.
Or was friends with Greta Gerwig? Yeah.
Probably. That makes sense.
Because is Lena Dunham in Barbie?
I don't think
so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I only saw it once, but
Me
I don't
too.
think so.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a slow burn movie, but I don't know. I think it's just the vibes are so charming.
I think it's funny comparing it to last week's When a Stranger Calls.
Mm-hmm.
Both slow films.
Yeah.
And yet, this one builds the tension so well. Where, like,
yeah.
You could argue that nothing happens, but it's for a like, there's enough that's happening that it just, like, I feel like this movie, it keeps building pressure so slowly that, like, at any moment you're waiting for the pin to pop the balloon. kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas, like, when a stranger calls, it's just like, then don't pick up the phone, ho.
Well, yeah, and like we kind of know, we don't know what's going. Like if you've never seen this movie, you don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know where it's gonna. We get little breadcrumbs of like weird things that are going on in the house, but we don't know exactly what's happening. Whereas like I don't know if maybe this just suffers from like the remake thing of When a Stranger Calls. We know what's gonna happen. The call's coming from inside the house.
Right.
Kids are in danger. He's just like fucking with her or whatever. So like we know what to expect, whereas this one we don't really know at all. And I think what helps move this movie along more than last week's is the fact that we get the little breadcrumbs.
Right.
She has something to do.
Yeah.
Not just like meander, which I mean there is that, but at least we're given little clues as to like what the hell is going on. Mm-hmm. This is not their house. Whose house is this?
Right. Where am I actually?
What? Yeah, I'm being sacrificed.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's why it has like a leg up on, for sure, from When a Stranger Calls.
Plus, it's also great directing. Mm-hmm. Great directing, great editing.
Because I wonder too, like in the original When a Stranger Calls, if like that had a lot more of an effect then, not knowing that the call was coming from inside. Like that was like the my god moment. So maybe that had a more of an effect back in the day when you're watching it for the first time.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
I don't know, but yeah, this is definitely like better editing, better directing.
I also have to mention too, because I almost forgot. There is like such a cool shot in this movie. So she takes a knife out when she initially goes upstairs because she's hearing the banging, and it's almost like a Nosferatu style shot where we're looking at the wall and the staircase is in front of us, and so it's like a side shot of it, and it's the silhouette of like her with the knife coming up before like she emerges in the shot. And I just love that so much. Like I was like, this is what cinema's all about, baby. Like it's so good.
That's always I love a good shadow shot.
Me too. Oh
my god.
I have been trying to find a decal on my wall for years. Because I live in like a split style, whatever. And our basement is kind of like, it's like, my husband painted it like almost black. It's like a fucking man cave. But like, I always thought it'd be cool to like have the silhouette of like Nosferatu looking like it's creeping down the stairs.
I feel like that's so cool, but I think that it would creep you out.
Not at all, honestly.
I think you would be like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, yeah.
I move through the dark too much to be, except that I was telling you this before.
But when you like just glance at it.
Yeah, true. Although, by our stairs now, going downstairs, it's a picture of Jason Voorhees, and the mask is kind of like coming out from the shadows.
Oh,
and
he's
that never
not
freaks
scary.
me out. Right, the hockey mask, who cares? But I will say, like I was telling you before we sat down to record, it's not that I haven't seen this movie before. And yet, I haven't been watching as much horror. And so I sat down to watch this, and then I went to go into, like, our basement. And normally, I just move around the house in the dark until I get where I need to go. But I was so freaked out, I turned a light on. I was like, ooh, I hate this. I hate this. I've been away from horror for too long. Ooh.
And I know, like, Ty West really blew up the past couple of years with, the X trilogy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if, like, a lot of people have watched his earlier stuff.
Hell
so
yeah.
I feel like if you haven't, you definitely should.
Because I think we've done the Sacrament. Mm-hmm. We've done the Innkeepers.
Yep.
Ugh, so creepy. Mm-hmm. We have done all three, X, Pearl, and Maxine.
Of his early works.
Yeah. So now we have this. Yeah.
Another one under the belt.
I know. If you haven't seen this, why are you listening to this? We encourage you to check it out.
Yeah, definitely go check it out. Even just for the vibes.
Yeah, it's so good. As someone who notoriously hates 70s style films, I enjoyed this film.
Hell yeah.
Also, again, we forgot to do the scores.
Yeah, just like last week.
I know.
God damn it.
The repeat.
These are better, though, I hope.
Yeah.
At least on your end.
Yeah.
Because last week was rough. 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
A lot better.
8.
A lot better.
Yes.
And it's definitely deserved. I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5 on my end.
I'm also giving it a 4 out of 5 on my end. I was going back and forth between 4 and 4.5, but it's 4 feels right in my heart, so that's where I'll stay.
Yeah, definitely check this one out. But as always, thank you guys for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. And you can find us over on our social media at Fright Mic Podcast. Hit us up in our Discord after the show, and we can talk more about Things that are creepy.
Yes, things that go bump in the night. Waking up in the summoning circle after too many shots of tequila.
Exactly.
Ugh, I hate that.
And if you don't mind to give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening, we would really appreciate that. And until next time, I'm Liz.
I'm Sam.
Rest in peace.